This time it's a big thrift haul. Olivia called me yesterday morning and said, hey, you want to go thrifting with me? I said, well, certainly I do. So she had a couple little errands to run, and then we decided we would go in the direction of Boaz, and she said, let's just go on down to Attalla and Gadsden. I said, well, alrighty then. I wasn't counting on being gone that long, but I didn't have anything else pressing besides housework. So that's what we did. And I found so many things. And I met a new friend, Jody. Met her at Rafa in Attalla, Rafa thrift store. And I'm looking right now at one of the things that she spotted for me. And this is Johnson Brothers Ironstone Indies is, I guess, the name of the pattern, but $3.99, and it is beautiful with my other blue and white china, including I can't think of a single name besides Blue Willow. I've got other patterns as well. Maybe I can put a little insert and show you my other patterns, but this is precious. That's just exactly the kind of thing that I love. Now I gotta decide how I'm gonna handle this thrift haul because it's all on the floor and it's everywhere. You see this big lamp? This lamp with the shade and a finial. A lot of times they don't have a finial. Just guess what I paid for this. $9.99. And what's so funny is I saw another lady in the thrift store. This came from America's Thrift Store in Rainbow City. I saw it in her buggy and I was like, wow, that's a really pretty lamp. She got a good lamp. And then about 10 minutes later, on the other side of the store, there it sat with the rest of the lamps. So she must have changed her mind. But I certainly did snatch it right up because I thought it was great. I don't think it really matters which thrift store, which things came from. And I did go this morning and got this one. Dadgum Shepherd's Cove. They always post pictures on Monday night. They're closed on Monday. So Monday afternoon or evening, they spruce up the store, set out all the nicest arrangements and little vignettes and all the things. And this caught my eye and I just couldn't get it off my mind. So this morning I went and I was there when they opened. Well, I was there at 8:30 and they opened at 9. I think I was there before 8:30 because I was like, it's probably less than $10, and it was $8. But you can't tell that on the pictures. I mean, you can tell it's got a price sticker on it, but you can't zoom in enough to tell what it says. So you're just taking a chance. You're just going on an adventure. Anyway, I rubbed it trying to get some of it. Looked to me like nicotine. I cleaned it up and then I rubbed on it a little too hard. So I'm going to touch up again to blend that in a little. And I might even be able to lighten up the clouds a little bit. I mean, it's a print. It's not an original artwork, but I love the subject matter. I love how, can you see? I love how the sunlight comes down on these mountains and into the valley. It's got a little barn in there. Anyway, I love it and I wanted it very much. I couldn't get it off my mind after I saw it last night. So I'm just gonna go get it, and I did. And I also found that's Shepherd's Cove Boaz, and I also found this morning. That's a real gourd, and it doesn't have a hole cut for it to be a birdhouse, but it still has its original little stem on it. I paid $4 because you can't get that speckled, aged, oldie, moldy. You can't get that look easily by, just taking a plastic pumpkin and doing that. I mean, for one thing, it's a gourd. I've got a couple other gourds, and I love my gourds. I don't know why. I didn't grow up with anybody who raised gourds, but I just think they are very primitive and charming, and that natural patina on it is amazing. I love it. I love that. For $1 a piece, lids. Lids, and I don't know where the pots are that go with these. Here, I forgot to turn the TV off in the living room. Oh well, maybe you're not hearing it like I am. But these, I feel, these little aluminum lids are so cute, just staged and layered with other vintage kitchen utensils. And I actually have collecting quite the aluminum collection. And I know it's not actually healthy to consume food that is cooked on aluminum. I realize that. But it's got a little number 8 on it. I don't know why. Oh, it's got words. Huh. Pure aluminum. Well, just so it's pure aluminum. So, a little while ago, I was doing the terrible floor cleaning that I whined about in my last Thrift Flips video. I don't know why I dislike cleaning so much, but I think it's because I feel it takes away from my time to do crafting and more fun things. But I don't want to be a nasty person, and my home needs to be decent. You can't have a very cute home if it's also nasty. So, you know, I did all the floors. I've got a Bissell floor scrubbing machine that this is the second one I've owned, and I was today years old when I realized the only way to get it to be the heat function on it, I've never been able to figure out how to make it be hot. I put hot tap water in it, but I'm like, that don't really seem like that's doing anything. I couldn't find any buttons. Well, I poured boiling water in the water tank of it. And that's the first time today. And this is my second Bissell floor cleaner I've had. And so today I got boiling hot water on my floors. All of my wood floors need to be refinished. They haven't been refinished since 1999 when we first moved in here. They had just freshly been refinished, and they've not been refinished since. So we've worn them down to the actual wood in some places. And, you know, to get a floor redone, you just have to move so much stuff out. And I have so much stuff that I've just always put it off. And, you know, there's always other things we were trying to pay for. So, you know, I scrubbed it within an inch of its life today. It has been scrubbed with boiling water. Okay, look at this little jewel. This is also Shepherd's Cove. It says vintage, $1. Look at this little tea towel. That's the cutest. Okay, that's actual kitsch. I can't say it. Kitsch. It's a word that means bright colored vintage kitchen-y kind of things. It might not be just kitchen. It might be other things too. But that's precious. And I have some red and white things gathered together, and I may very well incorporate that. Or at the point where I get my she shed ready to display decor, one day it's going to happen. 4 weekends in a row we've been derailed. We're going to get a lot done on it, and we haven't. But I can't, I'm not in control of my own life a lot of the time. I just can't help it, and we're just going to have to get to it when we get to it. And in the meantime, just live life and do what you can do, because I can't control everybody else. I've tried, but that doesn't work. I can't. This little thing, $2, and I'm certain it's a reproduction. Gerbro strawberries with a handle. Okay, can we see where it has come from? CBOCS distribution. I don't see a store name, but this is Lebanon, Tennessee. That's so cute. I've got some other reproduction vintage canned goods, and someone has poured candles into them. So, but they're the kind of thing, tell me what to do when a candle has burned down in the middle and it's really high around all the edges. It's really high. And so when you light the wax, it just drowns itself, you know? What do you do about that? Do you just have to cut that wax that's still higher than the flame Somebody comment. Tell me what to do. I don't know what to do about it. Okay. There is a loose piece. Somewhere on this thing is a $3. Look how good it is. It's a good one. It's well made. This is on par with my Uncle Jimmy. He makes good ones. Look. I love it so much. And look at the color it has become over all these years. I feel like that's got some age on it. And it's just as tight. I'm trying to see if it appears to have once had a handle. And I can't really see evidence of it. I think it's just a little round basket that didn't have a handle, and that's fine. I can't wait to put something precious in there. All right. Okay, at the Rafa thrift store in Attalla, they had, okay, my nails, y'all. I have been working so hard in my house. I have little boy hands when there's no long fingernails and they're not painted. I've worked so hard. My fingernails are I just keep having to cut them off shorter because they're just peeling and weak, and I don't have time. I can either have pretty fingernails or I can have a clean house and do crafts. I can't do both. Can't have them at the same time. Okay, in their book department, their hardback books are $1.50 each. I'm trying not to just burst everybody's eardrums with the crackling plastic. When I go back to edit some of these and I'm dragging stuff out of crackly plastic, I'm like, I'm literally bursting my own eardrums when I'm listening to this. I'm so sorry. I'll try to be gentle. If I was smart, I would get it out of the bags before I even press record on the camera, but I didn't do that. Okay, these are, there's like 4 more of these. My husband is an electrical engineer, and he also has a master's degree in computer science. So he is a scientist, and he is literally a rocket scientist. He works on defense contracts in Huntsville. And my 2 sons are very, very close. They're just within 1 semester of graduating from each other. I mean, they've got about a year left, and we're not sure. One of them thinks he might have another semester going. But anyway, they will be computer scientists. And so all these books are science books from the 1920s and 30s. And they're so interesting to me. Advanced mechanics of materials. And they're all good colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on. I've got a big board, and I've got some really pretty shelf brackets. I'm going to put a shelf above Ben's computer in his office, which is the bedroom next to this room. So we've got our own little separate places. I've got my craft room that's girly, and he's got his masculine office in there. And thermodynamics, and this one says heat transfer. They're all science and engineering kind of books. And I have some that were Ben's great-grandfather, who was a chemistry teacher at Sneed Junior College, that's just here local in Boaz. Anyway, so I've got some that actually belong to us, but then, oh, I forgot. This is so rubbed off you can't tell what it is, but it's also science. It says it's from University, Alabama. Does he mean University of Alabama? I'm not sure. Thermodynamic properties of steam, copyright 1936. Look at this. Look at the age on this thing. Ah, so good. Where's the other stack? Here it is. This one says engineering mechanics. I'm going to put some flat on that shelf, and of course I'll show you when I do this. I'll put some flat, and then I'll put some just like leaning flat against the wall with some other masculine, like I've got a little globe, and it's just engineering. Where is that stuff? I've got some like a slide rule thing that engineers used to use before calculators were invented. Well, I got some stuff like that it would all look really good up there. You know, my whole house is just, it's like I'm having to rediscover it. We haven't moved from this house in 1999. So when we made room for my daughter and her husband and her baby to live with us for a year, they took a time out and regrouped and saved up a bunch of money. And, you know, I'm glad that we were able to do that for them. But it made me have to put about 3 or 4 rooms worth of my items had to be packed up and put elsewhere. Hence the she shed. That's why we even started building the she shed. And it's serving its purpose. It's just not cute yet because we got so tired. But there's that one. This one says, what's the last one? Dynamics and thermodynamics of compressible fluid flow. I have no idea. I don't know what this means. But I looked in all of them. Okay, this one's 1953. I was thinking it looked a little fresher, a little silverier, but that's still very old. And I love that these are science books, and I'm going to get to arrange them in a way that would look like it would go in his office and in his area. Oh, you see back here, I've got hydrogen peroxide, alcohol, nail polish remover. I was scared to use the nail polish remover, and if I'm honest, I think that the nail polish remover, when I was just gingerly trying to see what I could do to get the nicotine off of this, because that's what I think it is. But it doesn't smell like nicotine. Maybe it is just age and dust. There's a ton of dust on it. I got that off. But there's a few places that I rubbed too hard. And I think it was when I had the fingernail polish remover. I Googled all this, and that was a recommended thing. But I don't know. Maybe that was terrible advice. Anyway, now I gotta fix it. But I'll fix it. It'll be fine. Okay, $4.99. Oh, we also went to Eagle Rock in Attalla. And I love rabbits of every living kind and every fake kind. This will be adorable some kind of way. And I don't know why it has this mechanism on it. Did it have no, it wouldn't have. Start saying, did it have another half? But then that would be impossible. Maybe it did have a bottom, a flat bottom or something. Made in England. How exciting is that? Well, anyway, $4.99. And it must have been, that color must have been on sale, because when we totaled up all our things, I thought I had about $12 worth of stuff, and the cashier said that'll be $5. So I don't know. There must have been something on sale that I didn't know was on sale. This is from the America's Thrift Store, $3.99, and I think the colors are hideous. And that little, look how mean the eyeball is. Why do you paint something to look so mean? He looks like he's had the worst day. Look at that eye. It's terrible. So I love the shape of it. I love that it looks, it is truly wood, and I love the rough carving on it. So this is going to get a makeover. It's going to get painted entirely differently. There will not be pink and blue on it. I promise you that. But that'll be in a future Thrift Flips. Now, I have no living idea what this is. I paid $3.99 for something that I don't know what is. It has got the screws in it, and I wondered, do you see the way this is shaped? I wondered if it was, it's resin. It's not metal. I thought it was cast iron because of the patina. Isn't that beautiful? I thought it might be drawer pulls. I don't know what this thing is, but I love old, rusty looking things like this, just gathered together with other beautiful things, because that just looks like the best little vignette. So this is definitely going to get vignetted. See, set it on a book. There's just so many possibilities. And you don't even actually have to know what it is. I bet my mother would know. I need to show my mother and see if she thinks it's got a purpose. I mean, it's obviously was made for something, but you see that? I don't expect them to want a gourd in their house. I understand that. But I find plenty of things that are the right category and the right style for their homes and for their likes. Olivia spotted this and she said, "Look, Mama, $2.99. I said, "Oh, it's a buttocks basket." And then I said, "Oh, did you want it?" And she said, "Not as bad as you do." So, it is a very sweet little, that shape that looks like buttocks. That's a buttocks basket. And some of my very oldest, like 75-year-old baskets that I collect are in that shape. And that's always exciting to me to find another little one. But you know, not always, I try to always find not just decor, but let them be useful as well. I like to put little things that are commonly used in my home. I like to keep them in little baskets like this so it can be decor and useful at the same time. And what I was saying about moving things forward, you can try to make it your goal to, for every vintage lovely thing you bring in, try to switch it out and donate a modern thing that you could let go in place of the vintage thing that would also serve a purpose. And that's not terribly hard. But then look, here's a new, for $1.99, a new spray bottle in this beautiful brown amber color. I spray stuff all the time. I dilute essential oils. I like using Suavitel liquid fabric softener, and when I have poured out everything that will pour out, I run hot water in my big jug, which just a little bit of water, shake it up really well, and then pour it into something that I can spray out, and that's like fabric freshener Febreze, you know. So I like to do that too. Okay, here's more books, but are they more of the engineering books? Well, a dictionary. It was that same store that I found these. Okay, and another one that looks like Principles of Chemical Engineering, Thermodynamics. That's kind of embossed. It's kind of raised. I love every one of these are linen covers, and I love linen covers. I just think they are gorgeous. And this one says Mechanics of Materials. Did I already have one that said Mechanics of Materials? Something similar. Anyway, I thought I had a few more, but who can actually remember? We had little baby Isaac with us, and he was so good. If you keep that boy supplied in little Scooby snacks, he can shop a long time. He can be very happy. Okay, this came from America's Thrift Store. This, besides the $9.99 lamp, this was the highest decor price tag that I came home with. I paid $8.99, and it's heavy as can be. Look at the transfer wear on that. I don't think it's old. Somebody actually had a plant in it. It's dirty as all get out. Okay, this side features floral. And do you see how it's kind of, oh no. It's not actually crackled, but it's kind of got little dimply bits in there where the design is. Like it's, like the design caused it to have some texture to it. The bird, I love birds. I love that it has acorns and blueberries. This looks like when I made the Merry Christmas from the vintage art. The vintage art around the words Merry Christmas look a lot like this. And this is certainly extremely dirty. Oh yeah, it says made in China. I didn't think it was old, and I didn't care because I love that. And it's about to have a place of prominence in my home somewhere because I'm just excited as can be about that. And I will switch something out that I don't love as much because that's fair. All right. Oh, 99 cents each for these little chintz tiny pillows. Okay, something that you have not seen yet. I have not shared it in any thrift haul because when I found this, it's a set of children's play furniture. And for the whole 4 pieces that are certainly, I'm guessing they were made in the 1950s. They're solid wood. I paid $15 for all the pieces, and I drove to the north side of Huntsville to get them. The girl was about my youngest daughter's age. She looked early 20s, and she looked like she didn't have any interest in vintage at all. But that furniture is painted a peachy pink color, just like this. And when I practically hollered out loud when I saw these 2 little 99 cent pillows, because I knew this would be perfect in the doll bed part of that set. There's a doll bed, there's a high chair, there's a little hutch, like a little dishes hutch. And there's something else. There's 4 little pieces of it. Or are there 3? I think there's 4. From the Eagle Rock thrift store. This was, it's marked $6.99, but orange, anything with orange was half price, so I paid $3.50. And it is old enough that it has these dark stained areas around the little nails. And I do believe, look at that, I do believe it was intended to be a paper towel holder. And Olivia happens to have a paper towel bar, wooden bar, that was in her house when she moved into it. Oh, there's something else that it's the dustpan. Anyway, this is she shed. It's bound for the she shed when we get there, when we get to that point. But I'm going to reach over here and also share with you. When we were getting ready for Isaac's birthday party, she has a screened-in back porch and a bookshelf, or just a built-in shelf in there. And I hollered out loud. I said, I want this. Do you even care? Do you want this? And she said, you can have it. I have been looking for, and actually looked on Facebook Marketplace and eBay and some other selling sites to see if I could come across an old dustpan. And there one was. And it looks pretty darn rusty, but this looks twice as good as it did when we found it shoved up kind of under behind the bookshelf, the built-in shelves out on her sunroom. So it's a screened-in porch. Anyway, there was a little old lady that had lived in that house for a couple of 3 decades before Olivia and Ryan, and there are a few jewels like that keep popping out, which of course I'm delighted about that. Now this little section of things are not vintage. Pretty much everything else so far has been vintage or vintage related. These were things I found. I just happened to catch my eye when I find little cute shoes for my granddaughters and my grandsons. I just don't find as many for my grandsons, but I think these will fit Margaret, and they're Old Navy brand, and they're so cute. I paid $2.99, and this little it also looks similar in color, sort of. I'll either put it on my oldest doll named Mabel Louisa. I'll put it on my oldest doll, or I will just hang it somewhere precious beside my dolls, because that's adorable. And it has a tag that didn't have a name brand, but it's got like modern tags in it, so it's not old. I know it's not, but it doesn't have to be old. It can just look old, and I'm still tickled with it. I'm still happy. What did I pay for this thing? $1.99? No, just 99 cents. And I thought this would fit my Claire Bear's little head, and if it doesn't, I guess it's going to be given to some other little girl we know. But it was 99 cents, and it's a bucket hat, and it does have Moana on it. This side has just the fabric, but it is a Disney brand. No telling what somebody paid for that little thing, and I paid 99. That's okay. I wear, when we go on our camping weekends, and I have actually rafted in a little inflatable kayak down the Hiwassee River with my husband and sons. I like to wear the brand Jambu, and they're also called J something. There's a number. But this was a brand new pair of Jambu shoes. I mean, brand new with tags, and I paid $12.99. And these are also excellent for when you're at like an amusement park and you don't need your shoes to fly off your feet if you're a roller coaster lover like I am. I don't know, that doesn't go with the rest of my personality really, but I love roller coasters. Or if you're at a flea market or somewhere that you really just need to feel like you've got great support, but it's hot as all get out and you need to be cooler. So Jambu, I have several pairs and I've never paid retail for any of them. Not several, I have 2 other pairs. One I've just about worn out. One is what I had on my feet at Dollywood last summer, and then now I've got these red ones. I tried them on and I said, Olivia, I said, I realize these may not be in style a bit or a whit for someone your age, but I love them and they're exactly my size and they were brand new, $12.99. That's awesome. Okay. What else? See, at this point, I don't even remember what's in these bags. So it's exciting for me as much as it is maybe for you. Oh, this is another one that Jody helped me find. I just happened to be shopping in the same aisle with Jody, and she was appreciating that. It does have a little chip in it, but for all I know, I could have done that getting it home. It was a little bit of a madhouse getting my stuff into the house. $6.99, but it was a white tag, so it made it half price. It was $3.50, and I do believe it's authentic, and it's got a little bit of a kind of, it's almost green. Jody had a little light, a little black light kind of thing that tells if it's uranium glass, and it wasn't, but there's a little bit of a color of some kind to it, almost a little bitty bit of yellowish, yellowy greeny kind of color. But anyway, I love it. I got to talking to Jody, and I kept finding things, and I was not where Olivia was. She had gone to the baby clothes, and so I said, do you mind if I just put my stuff in your buggy while I go find my daughter? And she's like, that's fine. She was so sweet. I was so glad to have met her. Okay, let's see. We might be getting toward the end. Oh, this is exciting. I'm going to actually unroll this. 99 cents, but it's a white tag, so I paid 50 cents for this 1970s. I do believe my mother may have had this exact pattern somewhere in the house I grew up in. Of course, she loves decorating, and she would have changed wallpaper 4 times by then. Oh, well, it's got a lot. It's got a lot on it, but I am curious if it's all the same pattern. If it's more than one roll that just got rolled up together. But if I'd be still, you could see that it's avocado and blue. If that's not a 1970s color scheme, I don't know what is. But here's my idea for this. Do you remember I bought that sideboard in Sevierville last summer? And I had intended to put it in my foyer, and I still think I will. But this past year was the year of chaos, the year that we all squished up and made room for a whole extra household to be in my household. So I never did get it switched out yet, but I think as for some reason, even though that sideboard is much older than this would be, I feel like the inside of the drawers lined with this would just make me happy. I just love it. And I will have to investigate further. It's tearing. I don't want to tear it up. I'll have to do it a little more slowly. For $1.99, I have no living idea. It looks like it's been made out of scrap pieces of crown mold, baseboard, trim, but it looks exactly like the kind of thing that I have been picking up when it's only $1.99, very giveaway prices, to use in my she shed, along with my other very vintage looking kitchen kinds of things. And I found a ginormous, for $7, ginormous rack. It's probably over 6 feet tall and about 3 feet wide, maybe just 2.5 feet wide. Anyway, it's along the lines of this, but just massive. It's just huge, and I can't wait to put vintage things on it. But that's already out in the shed, and that's what this is destined to be used for as well. Entirely built out of scraps, and who knows what will be adorable in there, but something will be adorable in there. And this was just a really nice, good sized, for $1.99, a good sized cutting board that these are just useful. If nothing else, to do crafts in here in my craft room to have a wood surface to do things, rough things on. I'm not even mad at the stain on it. I think that's kind of charming. And I know that's ridiculous. But it's got good patina. It's solid wood. It's just really nice. And I thought that even layered up with other ones, shorter ones and different shaped ones in front of it. I don't love my backsplash. I don't actually have a backsplash in my old kitchen. It's just the wall. And so I have lots of cutting boards and things like that leaned on my counter, just leaned against the wall, which would be, you know, where tile would be for normal people's backsplashes, but I don't have that. I mean, I could have had it any time now. It's just one of those things that, like I said, I've said it before, I don't hate my kitchen. It's very old, and the counters are still yellow, and the cabinets are still, everything's still from 1972 when this house was built. But I don't hate it. All right, I'm going to end up on this note. And this was found this morning. I ran through the book section just in case I found old vintage books. And I found one of these Bibles said 1920 something, and this one says 1913. So they're both 100 years old. And it's just as, it's flaking off, flaking apart, which makes me love it all the more. And this one has very interesting color pages, which I'm surprised to see in something this old, but it has artwork throughout it ever so often. It actually has the little index thumb tabs, and I love that. And I kind of want to sit and leaf through this very gently and carefully and see if I can see, you know, it's like a treasure hunt. I love to see little handwritten notes and paper and little tiny personal things that were stuck in somebody's Bible, and then it got donated and nobody even knew it was still in there. And this Bible is a little newer, but entirely got an entire chunk missing off that corner. And you know, you may have seen before that I have a stack of old Bibles. And what? Oh, it's got notes, and a child has written. That strikes me as this belonged to the adult, and the child just decided to practice their handwriting in the Bible. Isn't that just like kids? Well, look at the way that's chipped away, and you can see that fabric down in there. That's so good. Why do I care? I don't know. I even love to look at that corner. How you can see the little sections that are bound together, and then they put all the sections into one big book. All the little sections are bound, and then they stack that up and put the whole cover on it. That's great. And that's all. Nope, got one more thing. I didn't think this was old. Nichols Pocket Bible Encyclopedia. I thought, what's that going to be? It's scriptures, and it's themes, like the chapters are themes. When do we receive eternal life? The gospel. Those without faith. The law of the Lord. Instrumental music. So it's operation of the Spirit. It's got topics of interest with scriptures gathered together. And I think I saw the date in here was 1949. That looked, I was surprised when it said 1949, because that looks like someone didn't hold it in their hands every day, or it wouldn't still look that good. That's hardly got anywhere on it. But that's the publishing date. So now I got to get busy and disperse these things so that it doesn't look like I just have a pile of something, because that's not the goal. The goal is to collect things that are beautiful and that bring joy to your heart and make you feel like you have curated a collection of things that makes your home unique, and it's full of the things that you enjoy and that are meaningful to you. And we're not just collecting for collecting's sake. We're we're curating, like a museum would curate certain pieces that are special and meaningful, and we would make it our goal to also move along with some things, move forward with some things that are not our favorite and not serving us well anymore. We can let those things go and end up with just our favorite things, because we live in such a country that we are blessed, and we have the freedom to go shop where we want to shop, and spend our little spending money on things that are old and rusty that other people may not value, but people like us do. We do. And I think that's fine. I think that's good. I pray blessings over all of you, that the Lord would see you. He does see you where you are, exactly where you are. Your challenges that you face today, God's aware of those. He's not distracted. He knows where you are. Reach out to him. Trust him. He's never failed me yet.